Money, kasi I think it's not just a motivator, but it's an instrument for empowerment for women. Because in the family, whoever has the money makes decisions.
Hi, I'm Sam Sadhwani, and this is Speaking of Money, a GoTyme Bank podcast. This season, we dive into the beautiful stories behind success, the sacrifices, the struggles, and the bold moves that make game changers who they are today. And now we're joined by a woman in tech defying expectations, leading with purpose, and using her platform to uplift others. Ambe Tierro, Accenture's Country Managing Director. Now, thank you, Ms. Ambe, for joining us here. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you, Sam, for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, Ms. Ambe, you've been in Accenture for over 3 decades now. That's a really long time. For those meeting you for the first time, how would you describe what you do?
I lead change. So our company delivers on the promise of technology and human ingenuity. So we deliver solutions and services for our clients. So we serve mostly global clients of Accenture, and it's primarily technology solutions, but I would say it's across business and industry as well. So I like to say that I deliver change for our clients.
As a country managing director, what do you think the role means?
Well, the country managing director is responsible for strategy as well as for the day-to-day operations. And for a services company like ours, we have more than 80,000 employees in the Philippines. It's also about capability development. Because our business is a people business.
Right.
So we're only as good as our talent. And so a big part of my job and the job of the leaders in Accenture is really investing in talent, attracting them, developing them, and engaging them so that they thrive in our company.
But you're not just a country managing director. In your personal life, you also wear so many hats. You're a mom of 3, and you're also a runner. First and foremost, how do you balance all of that?
All 3 hats really contribute to who I am. So running gives me discipline and it clears my head. Plus, it's an excuse to eat as much carbs as I like. And of course, being a country managing director, my job in Accenture gives me purpose.
Right.
And an opportunity to make an impact. And of course, being a mother gives me perspective. So how do I balance these 3? I think I come from a place of gratitude. So whenever I have to do something, I change my mindset now. Instead of thinking I have to run, I think I get to run. So it's really about thankfulness that I get to do these things. So I think that makes it a little bit more positive.
Was this always part of your plan? Was being a leader always part of your plan, or did your path surprise you?
I wouldn't say it was part of my plan from the beginning. Because I started at the entry level in Accenture. After graduating computer science from LaSalle, I started as a programmer.
Wow.
Leadership was not in my mind. No, I just wanted to learn as much as I can and get experience. And I was fortunate to have mentors, supervisors who believed in me, sometimes more than I believed in myself. And they kept giving me more responsibilities. I found that I like being responsible. I like having these responsibilities. I like having, being responsible for other people, our output. So I think that's where the leadership came in.
Right.
I love leading. I love being able to shape things and make decisions. So that's kind of how it started.
So all journeys are not without its challenges, of course. Can you share with us some of the challenges you had to go through to get to where you are now? And did you take any professional risks?
Having an intense career in a global organization and being a mother of three is a risk in itself. And I'm glad to say that my company did not have to make me choose between ambition and family. Because I was able to work through that. It wasn't easy because being a woman, especially when my kids were growing, it's hard now when you have to when you have a full-time job. And my husband also had a full-time job in IT. And so it was an intentional balancing act in terms of how we would, support our growing family as well as, have a career. I wouldn't say it gets easier. My kids are grown now. The eldest is 26 years old.
Wow.
And the youngest is 20. They have different challenges. Kids, you never stop being
a parent,
mother,
right?
a parent. Definitely, from a home care, perspective, it's easier now. But when I was a young mother, it was difficult. So I think the support system is very important. Plus, really making the decision because from the start, it was my decision. That's how I think about my career. My husband would have willingly provided for us because he had a full-time job also, but I wanted it, so I made it work. And so my I keep telling myself. I've been managing this decision for 26 years because my eldest is 26 years old now.
Wow. So I definitely want to touch on that, being a woman in a space that's described as male dominated. First and foremost, do you feel that in your day to day?
In the Philippines, not so much because we are fortunate to have a healthy mix of men and women in our workforce in the country. But once you go out of the country, and like I said, we have global clients, it's a global organization. So I frequently go to meetings where I find myself as the only woman, as the only Asian woman. Right. And when I was younger, this used to intimidate me because I would tell myself, oh no, I'm the only woman here. Whatever I say, they would remember. Right. And they would label everybody in the Philippines based on what I say. So this is what's going on in my head. I felt responsible for everybody. But, I learned to turn that fear into courage. Right. I changed the voice in my head to be, if you say something good, then you're memorable.
Right.
So I taught myself that, especially when you travel abroad and you're in these meetings for days. I would leave my young kids at the time. If I didn't say anything, it would be a waste, no? Why would you leave your family and not say anything in these meetings? But I tell you, it was intimidating at first. And so I think this is my way of, overcoming that sense of awkwardness, or you're very conscious about being the only woman. But now, women nowadays, we get a lot of support. Right. Globally, there's a lot of attention. And so I encourage women to speak more, to find your voice and then help others find their voice.
On your trips now, are you finding that there are more and more women in this space?
Yes, there's definitely more women and also more diversity in general. So I think it's a good time and tech to thrive.
Can you share with us a moment when you helped make that happen, when you helped women rise the ladder or challenge a norm, a bias?
My personal story. So I mentioned I have 3 children. My major promotions in Accenture happened when I was on maternity leave for the 3 times.
Wow.
So unintentionally, I made myself like a role model in my company where, okay, you don't have to, because promotions are done, not in the year that you want to be promoted in. It's like hard work and contribution across the years. And so it just so happened that, like the major promotion is being a managing director level. And I was on maternity leave when that happened.
Wow.
And I like telling this story because it tells women that it's possible. It's possible to do this in your own pace, in your own time.
Very
but
much so.
It's very possible. So I guess that's one way, unintentionally that became I became a role model for women who want to have families and want to balance a career. And of course, women may make different choices. No? They may not want to be mothers. That's okay. And then outside, I am in the board of an NGO called For the Women. We support scholars who want to shift careers into technology.
Wow.
Then we supply the course, so that you can get into data science and data related jobs in tech. And it's so encouraging, the results where of course they make more money for the family.
Right.
And money, kasi I think it's not just a motivator, but it's an instrument for empowerment for women. Because in the family, whoever has the money makes decisions. Right? And so this is the root of what we want to do for the women. Empower women through jobs that are, that give them more empowerment in their family. So that's one. And then I'm also part of the Filipina CEO Circle.
Wow.
When I joined, there were only 60 of us. Now there's about 100 CEOs. I think we still need more because it's still a small percentage of the number of leaders in the country. But I find that network very meaningful and very empowering for me because like in my company, I'm the most senior woman, but when you go there, you're with peers, which can also give you inspiration in terms of what else you can do.
So a program that mirrors your passion for women empowerment in Accenture is your Nanays in IT. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So this started during the pandemic. And we thought we should do something for those who are, a lot of people and women lost their jobs because they couldn't go out of the house.
Right.
And the tech jobs really accelerated during the pandemic because all companies needed to digitize. It was like the fast forward button for digitization. And so we said we could train homemakers. So we trained particularly mothers or mother figures on IT skills because we could do it online, virtually, and then we could help them get employed in IT. So we were trying to solve our own problem, but also helping address a need. And I'm so happy to share we're on our 5th year working with the Philippine Business for Social Progress. They're helping us find the women, and about 200 women have gone through the program now. And I'm so happy. 60% of them have been employed. So hopefully we can continue to do more.
I'm excited to see this program grow even more.
Yes.
So I also want to touch on AI.
Okay.
Nowadays, when you say technology, AI kind of comes hand in hand as well. It's reshaping the future of work. What shifts have you seen in recent years, and what skills do you think will matter most in the next few years?
Okay. So AI is another topic close to my heart. As I mentioned, I graduated
Computer
with a
science.
computer science degree. And my undergrad thesis was AI
Oh, wow.
in the 90s, late
Wow.
80s. So
You knew
AI has
all
been
along.
there. AI has been there, but it hibernated because there was no computing power, there was no data. But nowadays we have all of those in abundance, and so AI is thriving. And I I believe that, as you said, it will transform the future of work as well as a lot of the industries. No? And in our organization, we believe it also transforms the way we deliver our services to our clients. In terms of skills, I would say the most important in the future would be three things. No? One, AI fluency.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is knowing how to use it, knowing how it it gets embedded in your job, because it's not just the tech jobs that will change.
Right.
It's everybody's jobs. And the example that I like to give is a driver. These drivers use Waze or Google Maps to assist them. So AI can assist people. I think this human and machine combination will be the key to the future, and more, our jobs will change
Right.
because it will be embedded with artificial intelligence. The second is the second characteristic is really the human skills or the soft skills. The soft skills are the hard skills, I would say. Emotional intelligence, problem solving, communication. Because as AI becomes more human-like, we need to amplify our being human. And especially the ones who create AI, you need to have a little bit more responsibility and ethics. And so that's another skill. And then the third, which I'm sure a lot of people would say, is really learning, lifelong learning. Because when I started 3 decades ago, the skills that I have are different from what I have now. So it's very important, especially in the industry that I'm in, to continue to learn, because otherwise you get irrelevant.
So AI is meant to be a good thing. But going back to your example of drivers and how it helps them become more efficient, for example, nowadays there are AI-driven cars. So do you think that AI will replace more jobs than it creates?
So in our company, we have done a study of all the industries and all the jobs, and our point of view is that it will be a net gain. And if you look at a particular job, three things will happen. Part of it will be automated, part of it will be augmented, and the rest will be unchanged. And the unchanged part is really more amplified, with AI. So I think, and then you create more jobs,
Right?
Because there's different technology, and now in human history, technology always created more jobs, and so that's kind of the optimistic view.
Okay.
And so I think we need to stay the course, in terms of having the right skills and preparing for what's ahead rather than resisting.
Right. And how can we make sure that this optimistic view happens? How can tech leaders responsibly guide the ethical and inclusive use of AI?
So we recommend a playbook in Accenture to our clients, but also I talk about it so that that other organizations can also adapt. And the first thing we really say is lead with value, which means don't do it for technology's sake. No? So I don't think tech is successful when it's just done because
Yes.
you don't you like it's high tech and let's do it. In business, there has to be a business case. There has to be a return on investment. That's how AI will scale if you always lead with value. And then the second thing is, bring people along. In any technology that we implement, there's always change management or how human beings will be impacted. So I think this is very important because projects or all these innovation projects fail if people don't embrace the new technology. So that's one piece of the playbook also. And the third is responsible AI. And at Accenture, we have a framework for responsible AI, which looks at ethics, fairness, who are the people building this, what is their bias, we make sure there's no bias, and also how we test the data that we use to test the AI, because that also influences the results of AI. So there's a whole framework that we recommend to clients as well as advocate for, so that we can continue to benefit from this technology.
So let's talk a little bit about the team behind you now.
Okay.
In order to lead, it does take a village. Who's been behind your corner from the very beginning?
Well, I have been fortunate to have mentors from the start, both men and women. And they have, like I said, they have believed in me more than sometimes I believed in myself. So they kept giving me more responsibilities, tapping me on the shoulder. And that's how I've grown in Accenture. I've accepted roles where I'm not 100% sure that I could do this, but because of the support and the sponsorship of my leaders, I was able to navigate the roles. And when when I took the roles that I did not necessarily, prepare for, that's when I experienced the most growth. So that's why I tell people, say yes all the time, and then you
just keep
figure
saying
it out.
yes,
As long as you have a supportive environment.
So as a leader, what kind of team culture do you build, especially in terms of inclusion or innovation?
I would like to think that I build a culture of inclusion for sure. I like to have a balanced team. We also support each other. I'm very authentic, so I show up like I am. Sometimes I've had a bad day. Sometimes it's a good day. So my team knows. And I'm very vocal about that. And I encourage people to be themselves also. So I do a weekly meeting with my direct reports as a group, and then I have regular one-to-ones with all of them. I think as a leader, you have to know the love language of your people because they are motivated differently. We're individuals after all. So every person will have a different way of, getting motivated. Some people like public recognition. Some people like just a quiet thank you is enough. So that's my leadership team.
It's a lot about understanding the people behind the team.
Yes, because especially for us Filipinos, we make choices sometimes emotional also, right? You have to have an emotional attachment to your company. So I think you have to build that glue, that people like each other.
Do you think that's easier for women to understand?
I've seen men also successfully do that, but I think for women it's more natural for us. And like being a mother also helped me a lot because I have 3 boys. I have 3 sons.
Wow, boys, all boys.
Yes, all boys. So I've kind of understood boys more, I guess, dealing with my with my sons, and so I think that just helped me in my leadership. I also encourage innovation in our company. I have a term called small I and big I. So the big I would be the big ideas, big innovations, which we owe our clients all the time because they come to Accenture after all with expectations. So we have to have the big ideas. But there's also the small I, the everyday innovation. Just,
Right.
just doing things better. Just, maybe this process is not as efficient as it should be. Instead of
Right.
10 steps, there should be 4.
Right.
Then everybody's empowered to say that and to make suggestions. So there's always this big, small I sessions within
Right.
smaller teams.
That way you're constantly evolving.
Yes, absolutely. So I think we're not a perfect company, but we say, we're a group of people who show up and try to do better every day.
If you could speak directly to the next generation of women in tech and men, what raw truth would you want them to hear?
It's not always fair, I guess. It's not always easy. But if you have a purpose, your why, it's clear that why you want to show up. And for me, at this point in my career, my why is I want to step up for the Filipino talent. I believe we can really make a difference in the global stage. And so I advocate for the tech talent in the Philippines. So that's my why. So if you have that, and it could be a smaller why. Huh? When I was starting, my why was just, to make enough money to buy a house or put my kids to school. And that's okay. As long as you know why you show up and then be intentional with your choices and be good at what you do. And so over the years, of course, the way I look at money has evolved. And my principle is spend on what matters, but save for the possibilities. Because there are always emergencies, crises. You always have to have savings.
Right.
And I'm grateful even when I was younger, my dad taught me how to save. Even it doesn't matter how much. So we went to the bank. I had a passbook, and so I was very excited about the interest, seeing the interest grow. And so I always set aside savings first, and then the rest. So I have a target savings.
Yeah.
And then after that, then I can spend the rest. No, but I value the experience. And that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. No? So because the experiences will be memorable to them,
Right.
not about how much money.
Right. In line with that, what personal money motto or money habit will you pass down to your kids and to the people that work under you?
So I think that's it. No, save for possibilities, but also spend on what matters to you. Education is always important, and experiences over gadgets or luxuries. But
The intangibles.
yes. So and I believe, because I've experienced that no matter how much you earn, there's always room to save some.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here at Speaking of Money. Tune in again next time for more beautiful stories behind the success of Game Changers and the team that helps make it all possible. To never miss an episode, click subscribe and hit that notification bell.